HTTP is stateless, okay? Every request the server gets is like from scratch. There's no memory. So it's not like a telephone call where you remember who you're talking with at any given moment. It's more like a bunch of postcards, and you get a postcard from somebody, you're like, oh, here's a postcard. Gosh, I wonder what we were talking about. It's been so long. And in particular, there is no identity with things either. I'm getting, if I'm a web server, I'm getting a bunch of postcards all the time, and all it really has on it maybe is a return IP address. So I get a request, and or get a bunch of requests, and I'm like, yeah, are some of these requests related to requests that were made a few milliseconds ago, or seconds, or minutes, or weeks ago? Who knows? So we want some way to convey information between making a request one day and making another. So me as a customer, I go to fancyshoes.com, and I go and I browse, and maybe I put things into a shopping cart or something like that. And a little bit later, I come along, and I want to go and say, hey, yeah, I want to go ahead and buy the things in my shopping cart. So I go ahead and click something. Again, that just causes a web request. Somehow the web request needs to know that, hey, this postcard I just got now saying buy what's in the shopping cart, that's coming from Barland. And his shopping cart is, of the 500 shopping carts I have going on right now, his is number 4732. Okay? How can we do that? Notice, by the way, you might say, oh, we have an IP address. So, yeah, except remember that one IP address might be one machine with many users. I might change IP addresses. I might switch over to the VPN halfway through my transaction or something like that. I might start it on one computer and go finish the transaction on another. Another common answer is people, well, of course the server knows who you are because you log in. That begs the question, though, because how does the server know? Again, I get 500 postcards. How does it know that this is a postcard of somebody who's logged in? And if they are logged in, who the heck are they? And the answer is, it's not too difficult. On the postcard, when you make a request to the server, I'll go ahead and I'll write, hey, by the way, server, please remember that I'm customer 4732. Okay? And that way, every time the server gets a postcard from me, they'll say, oh, hey, this is, signed, dear, or, sincerely, customer 4732. Oh, I know whose shopping cart that is. Yeah, I know all about customer 4732. Maybe the server is keeping files on disk. Okay, and that is a cookie. That little piece of information, that little crumb of information that allows you to track one postcard and identify it with another postcard out of all the hundreds of postcards you're getting. That little crumb of information is called a cookie. Okay? So who sends the cookie? I don't ever remember filling out my customer number as 4732 when I was at crazyshoes.com. The way it really works is this is all done for us by the browser. The browser and the server are going to be cooperating to do this without the human meatbag needing to get in the way. The first time I go to crazyshoes.com, I'll go there and say I've never been to that site before. It's true, I haven't. So I go to crazyshoes.com. I don't have any customer number. I don't have any cookie. Okay, I have no information to send along. So my browser just sends that request. The server gets the request, sends it back to me, and says, by the way, hey, person receiving this response, could you please make a note that you're customer 4732 and please include that in all future correspondence? That's the server requesting the client to set a cookie. Okay? So, hey, here's a piece of information. Please remember this and please include this on all future requests to crazyshoes.com. And sure enough, if my browser is compliant and helpful, well, helpful, not necessarily. It's not uncompliant to not do this, but my browser will say, oh, okay, hey, they're going to a website. Hey, he's going to crazyshoes.com again. How much is he spending there, that fool? Anyway, yeah, crazyshoes.com. I'm going to go ahead and look up this customer number from last week. Yeah, 4732, and I'm going to send that as long as part of the packet, the HTTP request packet. So we saw already that the HTTP request packet, there's the payload, which is the URL being requested. But then there's a lot of other information, referring page, user's operating system, any key value pairs from a form is in there, and any cookies are in there. In fact, if you go and look at the same ways we went to look at the contents of a cookie back in week 1, you'll see that that HTTP form actually has cookies and has a bunch of stuff stored there. Okay. Great. If I'm the server, what do I need to do? I need to go ahead and remember to, when I get a request coming in without any information, maybe ask, say, in the response, say, hey, person getting this message, please set a cookie. Cookies are actually key value pairs. So I just sort of said customer 4732, but there actually might be the key customer number and the value 4732, and a server might set several different cookies. In practice, one cookie is enough. Like a customer number is enough of a cookie that if the server keep track of everything else, I don't need to ask the client to keep track of anything more. I'll keep track of everything else in a file maybe named 4732. Keep in mind, this is coming from the client. Just because somebody comes and says they're customer 4732 doesn't mean I should necessarily believe them. So we're going to have to worry about that in a second. So we'll come back to the security concerns. Let's just go real quick and look at the cookies on my machine here. Okay, so I'm going to go to my browser, and how do I do this? I go to some sort of menu that's off the screen of preferences. Where's our settings? Settings, here we are. And show advanced settings, privacy, content settings. So this is in Chrome how I drill down to cookies. And I'm going to click on all cookies and site data. Okay. Here are the cookies I have. Okay. Oh my goodness, how embarrassing. There's a cookie to aarp.org sitting here. Oh, I hope nobody sees that. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of cookies stored here. Let me scroll down. Whew. Yeah, okay, so a whole bunch of cookies. Let's go and look at some of these things here. So Belkin.com. Okay. That's actually local storage. That's not a cookie. Let's go ahead and look at a few others. This one says cookie. Local storage file system. Okay. Well, here, I know. Let me go to Amazon. There we are. 26 cookies. There we are. There are 26 different cookies from Amazon. I claimed one might be enough, but on this particular browser, there are 26 cookies. So I'm going to go ahead and look. I'll look at, s_vnum. Okay. The name of the cookie is s_vnum. I have no idea what that means. The content is 182.122.3. Domain is Amazon.com. So I lied a moment ago, didn't I? I said the cookie was a key value pair. Well, there is a name, a key, and there is a value, the content, but there's other information. There's a domain, a path, some sort of send for, looks like to be a Boolean, accessible to script, seems to be a Boolean, a date created, and a date expires. So this particular cookie expires in about 10 years. Whew, I'm going to have this cookie a long time, aren't I? Okay. Of course, I can always remove a cookie. Yeah, next time I go to Amazon.com, my browser, this browser is not going to send that cookie along there, and so the browser may not remember as much about me. There is one session token, okay? Session token, this sort of corresponds to the customer number example that I was motivating before. And except if you look at the customer numbers more than just like a 2-digit number or 4-digit number, it's this big, long, huge honking thing. Why is it so big and long? Can you think about that? Hint, it's a security issue. I already touched on it. I don't want somebody, if I go in ahead and got the fact that I was the session, I had a session token or something, and I saw that the cookie value is 4732, I'm like, what happens if I were to change this to be 4731 or 4733? Yeah, if I did that, the server would think I was somebody else, if that was a valid other session key they'd given out. So how do you solve that? You generate long random session keys, And now it's going to be exceedingly hard. I see this, but it's exceedingly hard for me to guess anybody else in the world who has a session key with Amazon.com. I can even look at this and try to tweak it, but I'm probably not going to get lucky enough to find somebody else's session key. Okay, so let's go look a little bit more at these other values that are associated with this. So the key and value, the name of the content. Domain, Amazon.com. This is for my browser, Chrome. Hey, only send this cookie along when I'm visiting Amazon.com. Okay? And it could even be qualified if I went to, AmazonSmiles.amazon.com or something like that. It might be just that domain that this gets sent for. Path. We're not going to worry too much about this. It's almost always the root here. This is, hey, within Amazon.com, send this cookie for any request starting with this path or more, which is every request here, / and that's how it usually is. So send this cookie for every request to Amazon.com. However, you can have a path that was only, for, say, the path was / shoes / crazy. Then only if I went to Amazon.com / shoes / crazy / product 9937 / sale today only / go / buy it all. Then they'd send that cookie along, but they wouldn't send it along to Amazon.com / tires. Okay. Do they sell tires? They probably do. Okay. Send for. There's two types of things can hear. Any type of connection or encrypted connection only. Okay. And this is a little bit interesting here, this value. We'll come back to this. We'll talk more about all the security in one place. Okay. Accessible to script. Can JavaScript access, so can a JavaScript within the page ask for the cookies for this cookie? Or, put it this way, if a JavaScript within a page asks for all the cookies, will this cookie be selected? So, be given to the JavaScript. You wall that off so that you can go ahead and say, yeah, I don't have any JavaScript that relies on that. I don't want attackers' pages to get in there and some cross-site scripting or something like that. I don't want somebody else's JavaScript to have access to this, so I solve that by not letting any JavaScript have access to this. Of course, it's up to Chrome, the browser, to enforce that, but okay. The date that the cookie was created and the date that it expires. This one's in 2037. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a long session here. So, okay. So those are some of the particular cookies and cookie settings that we have. So, okay, I'll go ahead and stop there and, well, no. I'm going to add on one more thing. I'm going to talk about the expiration date real quick. So the name value of the expiration date. First of all, expiration dates, although it was shown as a nice formatted date right there in that window that Chrome was showing me, internally it's stored as a Unix timestamp or some sort of number of seconds or milliseconds or something since some epoch. Probably a Unix timestamp. Okay. And it's in, I guess it is in seconds. It's guaranteed to be in seconds. And so here's a common thing that you might see in code. They just say, hey, set a cookie. This will be on a server. This will be in PHP code maybe. Set a cookie, and here's the cookie name. Here's the cookie value. Hey, here's the expiration date. Current time plus 3600. What does that mean? Go ahead and pause for a second. Yeah, so current time would be the current time in seconds. Add 3600 to it. That's going to be 60 minutes in the future. So this is a 1 hour cookie expiration right here. Okay. And I'll just mention, I'll finish off with the time 0. If I say set the expiration date as 0, which you'd think would mean 0 seconds since the epoch, which would be back in January 31st of 1972, long expired. 0 actually has a special sentinel value for a cookie. 0 means, hey, this cookie expires when they close the browser. Yeah, who closes a browser these days? I don't know, but that's, it was a popular thing to do back in the day. Okay, so those are some of the details about cookies. We'll come back next time and talk more about calling set cookie and then some of the security issues involved with this. And I will figure out how to stop this video there.